I'll take it. I didn't call it, but I'll take it.
Well, he doesn't want it. He's on the other sideline.
You're going to see the pressure coming off the edge. He pulls it down. He got the flag. It's not flag football. Maggio continues to run with Michael Divinity creating the pressure there, but Maggio was able to escape and pick up the first downs.
The up man there looked like he thought he was going to push him right past the punter, not realizing the punter's depth. He ends up running him right into the punter. It's just a smart, heady play right there.
That's the longest run of the game so far.
Well, hey, take him as you can get him.
Maybe list him as an athlete after the game?
Yeah.
You think?
No.
Allison on first down finds his way out of the pocket and has a completion smoothly done. Nope.
Yep.
Yeah, inside the 25 to the 24.
Hit Nasir Upshore, a verbal commit. Florida State out of the Philadelphia area. You think about all the talent in the state of Florida, but really the Seminoles have done a very nice job of going into the Northeast. We talked about Ronald Derby earlier. He's out of the DMV area. Josh Sweat out of Virginia, now going into the Philadelphia area to pick up the tight end Upshore,
who completed the catch. Ball came out after he was finished with the catch. And there's Ed Oliver once again on that defensive line for Team Armour.
Starting to see that defensive front, and it just, the penetration, the initial quickness off of the football is so far superior to what the offensive line and these front players have seen to this point that it takes a while to adjust, and you're not going to do that in 3 days of practice. The point of attack, the ability to sustain, more than anything, get out of your stance, because that's where the advantage is right now on defense.
When you say get out of your stance, what do you want timing-wise for that? How quickly do you need to do that?
You always see these defensive linemen jumping the snap, watching the ball. You want the offensive line to have the exact same approach, and they know what the snap count is.
Some touch from Allison on the sideline, and this is Deontay Mullins. That's hurricane to hurricane for the touchdown.
Deontay Mullins, throughout the process, watching him on tape, he has outstanding, strong hands. You're going to see a nice job by Allison throwing it. Mullins adjusting, just taking it away from Christian Fulton, number 2. Watch him go up. The hand-eye coordination, the strength. Beautiful catch by Deontay Mullins.
I'm not so sure, boys. That won't make top 10 Sports Center right there. That was a sluggo route, the slant and go. Corner actually read it well, didn't play the ball well, and Jack Allison throws the ball to the inside as opposed to the outside, and his receiver Deontay Mullins bails him out. What a tremendous play and focus on the one-handed grab.
And many times that would have been an interception. Outstanding body control and focus by Mullins makes it a catch.
24-yard touchdown capped by the Aguayo extra point. We told you we have some interesting tools with us today. ESPN Tracks will give you the physics of some of our plays this afternoon, and we will see what ESPN Tracks has to say about the Mullins touchdown.
You are tuned into the station with Ace
See the burst right there off of the cut. I think really the speed of being able to, you see the max miles per hour there, 15 miles an hour. That was off of the slant cut before he faked and what upfield. So he's accelerating quickly.
Speed aside, it's the hands and the body control to go up and get that.
To compare, by the way, the fastest player on a touchdown this year in the NFL has been Ted Ginn at 22.4 miles an hour. So Mullins didn't have quite the time to get up to speed there at 15.6.
My point being, there are some players who can run faster than Deontay Mullins, but that is really what makes him separate is you get it in his area code. Deontay Mullins has a very good chance of going up and finding a way to come down with it.
Team Armour is going to have to come up with some answers here offensively. Like we've said, they've moved the football. They haven't been able to capitalize, and they haven't produced any big plays on offense.
See if Drake Davis can do it. Just committed to LSU, and he's across the 25. Don't forget, coming up on the Under Armour halftime show, we'll hear from American Family Insurance with a feature to tell you about. An announcement as well from a key offensive lineman from Texas. And player highlights as well on the Under Armour halftime report with Matt Schick downstairs. Jerry Hamilton will join him as well. Already a couple of announcements in our game today with Whaley and Davis and the other Davis.
Right now, Armour needs to come up with a big play or else the halftime team highlights are going to be of team highlights.
Run it with Miles Sanders, and the run game just has not been explosive today because of the defensive lines.
Well, they've been able to sustain some runs, get some chunks of yardage, get out of third down, but not converting on third down. And again, not having big plays in the passing game, and they haven't attempted many as well, Craig.
Garantano gets away from the rush. There's a marker down as well in the defensive secondary.
There was a team highlight defender who could not get off the field in time.
Well, right now, Team Armour needs all the help they can get, so they'll take that extra yardage. And that was a smart play there by Tennessee Verbal Commitment Garantano as he got flushed from the pocket.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 5 yards. Replay the down.
You're talking about Jared Garantano, the quarterback going to Tennessee. His dad, James, actually played for Butch Jones at Rutgers when he was a grad assistant there. So there's been a family connection for a long time, which certainly helps in recruiting.
Oh, recruiting is all about relationships, and certainly when you have that opportunity to have your foot in the door, it helps to kind of get the process moving. We've talked a little earlier about his passion for that program, how he's shown in the way he dresses and walks.
Thought maybe a hold flag was going to come in. Garantano runs for a couple yards. Rashawn Gary providing the pressure. Willie Allen maybe get 3 points for a takedown.
Initially, some good protection by the offensive line. Rashawn Gary at the top of your screen trying to work off the block. Look how strong he is to be able to shed the blocker and then to hustle. And really, we've talked about it. You talked about competitive temperament at the top of the game, Tom, and that is what you see right there. Number one player in the country not giving up on the play.
Don't forget, by the way, some of these players may be playoff national championship very soon, and that's coming up this year, Monday, January 11th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Derrick Henry in Alabama, Deshaun Watson, and undefeated Clemson, also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Big wins for both teams the other day in the college football playoff semifinals.
Well, there's quite a few Under Armour All-Americans as we see Herm Edwards there addressing his football team on defense. Know your situation, know the clock's winding down. Look at these alums between the 4 college football playoff teams. Clemson with 9, including Deshaun Watson. Christian Wilkins made the big play. We talked about him.
Ben Boulware as well had a big interception.
Ben Boulware, he certainly did. And then Alabama, okay, maybe that kind of explains the run that they've had over the last 7 to 8 years. And, the defensive side of the football with alums out of this game, guys like Reggie Ragland, Cyrus Jones, who's really developed into a fine player on the perimeter, the young corners, Micah Fitzpatrick, Marlon Humphrey, and then Tim Williams off the edge, that pass rusher that has developed. When he was here, guys, he was 200 pounds soaking wet with rocks in his pockets. I mean, we looked at him and we said, wow, he's explosive, but he's going to have to get in the weight room.
Some escapability from Garantano, and now he is taken down all the way inside the 30-yard line by a trio of team highlight players, including McTelvin Agim, the senior out of Hope, Arkansas.
Quarterback's got to get the ball out of his hands, Craig, and this is something where if it's not quite there, of course you don't want to risk making a mistake, but you're going to have to eventually pull the trigger. You don't take this loss. That clock's got to go off in your head. You're at a disadvantage up front in a game like this.
And I think that's part about learning about the speed of the game, because maybe in high school, that's a play that he escapes from, creates a second chance. The way that athletic defensive line can swarm and run, they were able to eventually shut him down and not allow a play to happen.
A game number 2 defensive end on his way to Arkansas. What's his best attribute, you think?
It's versatility and athleticism. You see him moving around the defensive line, playing inside. His range for a defensive lineman is tremendous. I remember, Tom, when we first put together the initial ESPN 300, we watched him run down a running back in the state of Arkansas at his high school game from 80 yards out. It's that combination of effort and speed as well as strength. And once they continue to fill him out, he reminds me a bit of Trey Flowers, who just came through that program.
Right. Yep.
And the versatility he can bring to that Arkansas defensive line. I will say this, though. I think he brings even more athleticism than Trey Flowers had.
The top lineman in the ESPN 300, Gary, then Bosa, Oliver, Lawrence, and Agim all here at the Under Armour All-America game.
And Bosa, unfortunately, and Rashard Lawrence both came in injured, were not able to participate in the game. So you've seen the front personnel that's on hand here today, and that's minus those two.
Once you're an All-American, you're always an All-American. You're still invited, and you're crowned an All-American. And so Bosa and Lawrence both have that honor. Levante Taylor back to receive the punt, officially 4th down. And that is a booming kick from Braden Mann, the Texas A&M verbal commit. Taylor on the last chance here in half number 1, and team highlight carries a shutout into halftime.
And we've seen some plays now, an opportunity for both teams to go with the half. And I think when the players come out for the second half, they'll be a little bit more accustomed to the speed of the game. Maybe take a breath, calm down, and see some big plays here throughout that third and fourth quarter.
Well, you want to see some adjustments. You see their guys are having a great time. Steve Mariucci talking with the officials. You want to make some adjustments, get your team competitive in the second half for Team Armour.
Let's check in downstairs, Matt Schick.
Yeah, thanks. Here with Team Highlight head coach Herm Edwards. It's been a struggle for both teams offensively, but what's been the difference for you guys?
Well, for us, it was the big turnover, obviously, down there. That's how we got our first points on the board. And then the next one was a great play by actually one of the receivers. You know, my one-hand grab looked like Odell Beckham catch. I told the kid, I'll get you on the top 10 because I'm going up to Bristol this week, so I'll get you on the top 10 for that one. But Mooch's guys are playing well, and, you know, it's always a struggle for offenses in all-star games. We know that. By the second half, hopefully both offenses will pick it up and get going.
And you have a punter that can improvise.
Yeah, he can improvise, and that was accidental, to say the least, but it's fine.
What do you enjoy the most about this week?
I enjoy just talking about football to these young men. You know, football is about life skills, and I think if they can leave here with that, not so much X's and O's, but the choices they need to make going forward, I think those are the most important things.
Let you go. Thanks. All right, guys.
Herm Edwards, thanks. Our score at the half, team highlights 17, Team Armour nothing. Coming up after the break, Matt Schick will be back. He'll have the Under Armour halftime show, including another announcement.
Welcome back to the Citrus Bowl. Team Highlight with a 17-0 lead on Team Armour. Welcome to the Under Armour halftime show. I am Matt Schick. These players, more than 90 of the great high school seniors in all the land in high school football, were chosen by our talent evaluators for ESPN, headed up by National Recruiting Director Tom Luganbill. But not all of them. A couple of them were chosen by you, the fans, thanks to American Family Insurance. For the first time ever, the final 2 roster spots.
For an alumnus of this game, Team Highlight leads 17-0 at halftime, and we get a sneak peek at Under Armour's upcoming documentary, All Eyes on Us.
All eyes will always be upon you.
Those first 3 steps on that turn are vital.
We're going to keep our eyes up. Take your eyes up and through. You're an All-American. With that comes expectation.
Jason Benetti joined by our recruiting brain trust, Tom Luganbill, Craig Haubert here at the Citrus Bowl. Guys, 17-0 first half. What are your thoughts?
Well, as we expected, it would be difficult with the defensive line talent that it is in this game for the offense to kind of find their mojo.
Sure.
For Team Highlight, it was a special teams miscue by Armour that allowed them to get on the board. But really, Rashawn Gary, #1 player in the nation, he has certainly performed like that throughout the first half and really throughout the entire Under Armour All-America week. The explosiveness off the football, the use of his hand, and most importantly, Tom, the motor. He has never given up on any plays and made a lot of plays off of effort.
Great effort guy. You know, he's running on 93 octane. A lot of that stuff at times, sometimes you might mature into doing it more consistently. Most guys, if they're not going to be a high motor guy, they aren't one. And so as we transition to the second half here, what I want to see more of is better plays being made by the wideouts. We've had too many dropped balls that have been short, intermediate throws where they could have a chance to make a play and make something happen after the catch. We saw that from Team Highlight and A.J. Brown from Jack Allison, the Miami verbal commitment. We need to see it from Team Armour in black if they have a chance of getting back into this game.
17-0 your score at the half. Team Highlight with a shutout against Team Armour, but one standout for Team Armour. is the future H-Town takeover guy, Ed Oliver. He's had a very strong first half. Commitment as well here at halftime. 17-0 your